you've ever considered revamping your studio's website, your socials, the way that you put together flyers that go out into your community, this broadcast is for you. I love a good before and after, and today we are going to be talking about some really amazing teachers who have dug deep and done the work and come out with amazing websites, amazing marketing, and internal business shifts that have enabled them to really step into who they want to be as a teacher and who they want to be as a business owner. So we're going to be doing lots of screen sharing today, lots of shouting people out, and I'm really excited to present these before and afters. And I think you're going to be surprised, my friends. Today is not just about revealing a logo. It is not just about saying, oh, hey, they started a new website or they launched a new Instagram account. It's really not about those things. What we're going to demonstrate today is the power and the empowerment that happens when we truly dig deep and look at what is my business about? Who am I as a teacher? And what is the difference that I want to create in the world? And we're going to be looking at, I said it was going to be 3, but it's actually 4 teachers. We're going to be looking at some before and afters and what has happened in their businesses over the past year, over the past 6 months, and what are the results that they actually experienced when they got serious about understanding and developing their studio's brand. So before we get into this, I want to play a little welcome music and say, hey, if you're tuning in, please be sure to say hello and let me know where you're tuning in from today. The more the merrier. Can't wait to have these conversations with you. Let's get started. All right. Thanks for joining me. If you are watching live, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're catching this on the replay, you know that I love to have a conversation with you. So jump into the chat. The more the merrier. If you're new here and you've never met me before, my name is Sarah Campbell. I am a business strategist, mindset, and branding and marketing coach for music studio owners like you and online education experts like you. And every Wednesday, we do fancy broadcasts here where we talk about all of these topics. And today, we're shouting out some really incredible teachers. And I'm going to be unveiling some case studies. And you're going to get to see what happens when you decide to do the deep work and when you decide to embrace what you do and really learn how to communicate those things to people. So let's say hello to a couple of people and do a quick housekeeping before we get into these really cool before and afters. Good morning to Grace. Hey there, Julie. Julie's one of our case studies today. So exciting to see you. Beth is watching on YouTube and she's making a chopped salad. I love that we're multitasking today. Thank you, Julie. This is my favorite shirt, period. End of story. If I could wear this shirt every day, I would. Karen's tuning in from St. Louis. And St. Louis, right? I said it wrong. I remember you said that last week. Okay, and Pete's tuning in, and thank you, Deborah. She said, if you're on the fence, don't miss the chance to work with Sarah. Branding Bootcamp is literally life-changing. And you know what? Before we get into all of the reveals today, I do want to tell you there is only one more week to enroll. We have 4 spots left in Branding Bootcamp. We get started on September 30th. I'm cutting off enrollment on the 28th so that we can make sure that everybody is onboarded and in the group and comfortable and ready to go. So the clock is ticking and spots are running out. And side note, Branding Bootcamp will not return until October of 2023. So it's going to be a full year before this class is open again. So if you find yourself on the fence and you want to have a conversation about it and you're interested in joining me, put Branding Bootcamp down below, and I will reach out to you and we can have a conversation. All right, let's get going. All right, so we've got all kinds of things today. I want you to drop a congrats down below, or for those who are on YouTube, look for the link that I've dropped into the live chat. This is how you can get a hold of the show notes from today, because I've got some really cool takeaways that I think you're going to enjoy. So if you put the word congrats down below, the Savvy Sarah bot will reach out to you via DM and send you the show notes from today. All right, let's make sure that we've got everything working behind the scenes, because we've got a ton of screen sharing to do today, and there's going to be a lot of tech involved. So it's going to be really fun. I've had a great time putting all of this together, and I'm so excited to share this with you all. Okay, so I think we're good to go. Let's get started. Okay, our first teacher that I'd love to shout out today and reveal some of the amazing things that she's done is Susan Hanlon. So we're going to be looking at the before and after what's happened with Susan Hanlon Vocal Studio. Susan was a part of branding. Oh, okay. I see Avasani Voice Studio is like, I'm switching over to YouTube. I want to see these things. Join us over there. Yeah. Instagrammers, switch over to YouTube or Facebook if you want to see the screen shares, because there's going to be a lot going on. Okay. So Susan has done some incredible work, and I really enjoyed supporting Susan as she rebranded her studio last year. One of the things that we're going to be looking at is that there was a big revamp that she did visually in her studio. And here's what's interesting about branding in general is that a lot of people approach it thinking, okay, I need to rebrand, so I need a new logo. Like, that's the first thing that they think of. They associate brand with logo. Well, that's only like 5% of what your brand is. In fact, it's probably less than that. Branding isn't just about visuals, although visuals can impact how people perceive what you do in your business. The big work that happens is really in how we understand ourselves, how we understand our ideal clients, and how we know how to communicate with them. But we are going to focus in on some of the visual shifts that Susan did, and they're really exciting. So I'm going to bring up some images to the screen, and then we're going to take a look at the shift that happened once Susan revamped her visuals and revamped her customer journey on her website. So I'm going to bring up some images. This actually might be super huge when I bring it up on the screen because I forgot to prep it. No, it's not super huge. Okay, so the logo that you see here is beautiful, right? It was Susan's old logo. It did convey some of the things that she wanted to convey, but part of the issue that she was facing is that it was very hard to print on items because it's got a ton of colors in it, and it wasn't very high resolution. It did tap into the fact that she teaches commercial music, but it didn't quite convey the style of teaching that she does and the type of people that she wanted to attract to her studio. So one of the little visual makeovers that Susan did over this past year is that she shifted from this logo, and let's bring up the second logo. I think you guys are going to love it. It's really beautiful. And we're going to look at how she's applied this to her branding. She's shifted into a logo that looked more serious, more professional, had a little bit of sass behind it, right? And it still conveyed that she's working with contemporary commercial music, right? So she's got the microphone involved in that, but it had a different feel to it. Yeah, Nicole says, ooh, that's lovely, right? Okay, so this was just the tip of the iceberg when it came to Susan's rebrand. So I'd love to chat more about what actually happened behind the scenes. And I'm going to be working from some notes here. So when Susan started to make some of these visual shifts, she was focused on a couple of things. She was focused on how her website was organized prior to doing this deep work and understanding the ideal client and understanding how to communicate the features and benefits of working in her studio. Her website felt a little chaotic. And it actually lacked specific directions and calls to action. So when people did land there, it wasn't converting her clients. So she was still attracting fun people, but what happened is that because she wasn't clear enough in how she could help transform people's lives, and she didn't have that brand equity like really developed yet. What happened is that she was attracting a fun people, but she was teaching more than she wanted to, and so she was teaching about 40 to 50 students a week, and she was maintaining a lower price. Now, what happened once she dug deep and really got into like the process that allowed her to communicate what her mission was, to communicate very clearly to her ideal clients and really call them out in all areas, in her website, in her marketing, in all of the places, she is now attracting the type of clients that are fun, but also super goal oriented. And they're very excited to pursue outside projects, which is what she excels at. So now she's able to offer a higher level of service and higher lesson fees. And therefore, she's only having to teach 20 or 30 clients. That's a huge shift, right? It's a huge shift. So I'd love to highlight how beautiful Susan's socials and website are. Would you all like to see this? Susan says, "Oh boy, that sounds familiar." Okay, so let's take a look at part of this revamp. Okay, so let me get into the screen share. Okay, so Susan's website is absolutely gorgeous and beautifully streamlined. She was able to, oh, I love this little transition that happens. She was able to identify like what are the core values of my business? What am I offering my clients that is unlike any other studio? And really lean into that in a way that allowed her to communicate it clearly. So she's got Susan Hanlon Vocal Studio, encouragement, creativity, exploration. She's got very clear calls to action. And she is calling out these clients in a way that is fabulous. She is learning how to communicate. I understand your dreams. I understand the pain that you're going through, and I understand how to help you. So this is what happens when we dig deep and we learn about branding. She also, like, if we look at the amazing galleries that she's put together, you can see, like, if you were a voice student who was interested in singing commercial styles, contemporary styles of music, this would be very appealing. And she is able to communicate these things in all of the places. She has a wonderful Facebook page. And what's amazing about her social media now and the way that she's marketing herself, the way that she has been able to communicate, is that she gets a ton of engagement, even with a rather small number of followers. Her followers are super engaged with what she's doing, and they are paying attention. They are commenting, they are liking, they are engaging with her things. And you can definitely see that, especially on her Instagram account, where she is absolutely killing it when it comes to engagement. You know, looking at this one post here with 56 people who have engaged with this post and 9 people who have commented. That's incredible. You know, what she's been able to do is truly amazing. So Susan, I just want to shout you out and say congratulations. You know, what she told me after the class was this: digging deep into this work really allowed her to see the way that her studio was presented with brand new eyes. And she knows that, you know, her website and her socials will always be a work in progress, but now she's actually able to convey what the studio culture is like simply from tweaking the information on those places. And because of this shift in messaging and clientele, this is my favorite part. All of these amazing events that she's been putting on in her studio, they are now super well attended, and singers of all walks of life are supporting one another at these studio events. So the big takeaway from Susan is this: it is amazing how small changes can affect your studio culture in robust and positive ways. So congratulations to Susan. Can we give Susan, a round of applause. And let us know what you thought of Susan's big takeaway. The fact that these small shifts that we can create, if we can really understand what is our big why. Why do we do what we do? If we can start communicating that big why in an effective way, then we are able to attract more of the ideal clients. We are able to work less because we can charge a higher price point, and we can create these experiences for our clients that are incredible because we've done the deep inner work and because we've learned how to communicate those things to people. Yes, I love it. Piano Allegro says, great job. Beth Ann says, love all the pictures of the students performing, doing their thing and loving it. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's, yes, Julie says, I was inspired by her studio size, right? That big shift going from 40 or 50 to 20 or 30 and being able to flourish as a business owner, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. All right, let's move and groove right along here. Our second case study, our second shout out is the Music House. So we are going to be looking at the Music House Austin, and this is such an amazing transformation. Anna Larson, we worked together in a couple different ways last year. We did one-on-one coaching, and she jumped into branding boot camp. And with those two things combined, she was really able to create super amounts of magic. So we're going to take a look at her website in just a moment, but I want to read one of the things that I thought was so important. She told me after the class, she said, when I was able to hone in on what I value and really understand who she is as a human being and who she wants to be as a business owner, it helped her to streamline her website in a way that reflected who she is, reflected the mission that she has as a music studio owner and as an online course creator. And it helped her get away from having a website that was trying to be all the things. Prior to doing this deep work and really figuring all of these things out, Anna's website, she wanted to communicate to so many different people that what it did is that it kind of watered down her message, and it made it difficult to understand exactly what she did. So when we worked together and were able to develop what we call a unique value proposition, really allow Anna to communicate very clearly what sets her apart from other musicians, from other piano teachers, from other course creators, it created a huge shift. And the other shift, which we're going to demonstrate in a second, is that she felt like she was granted permission to actually write website copy and marketing copy in a creative and fun and personal way. Prior to this, she felt like her writing was, kind of left over from the days of academia, and everything read like a research paper or a resume. And now she is able to write things in a conversational and fun way, and it's so much easier for her to write her copy. So let's take a look at what Anna has created here, and let me bring this up on the screen. Here we go. This is absolutely gorgeous. Wait till you see this. You know what? I want to bring this up so that we can take a nice close look. All right. And let me remove these. Okay. So this is Anna's website. It's super duper clear, and it really communicates what she offers as a teacher. The copy on it is amazing. I mean, listen to this. We're glad you're here. This is a place where we believe everyone deserves to play music, no matter how hectic their schedule. She specializes in working with busy people because she knows how to connect with busy teens. She knows how to connect with, adults who want to be able to fit that time fit that piano time into their hectic schedule. When they've got 4 kids and they're running around. She knows how to do this, right? She's busy teens who love to play piano, but school activities make it really hard to stick to a traditional lesson schedule. She has an offer that is not the traditional way of doing things, and it works really, really well. She also is able to talk to all these people who are trying to fit in piano between their career and their family, and she's able to introduce herself in a way that allows her to sparkle and shine, because Anna is just such a unique musician, and such a unique teacher. And so she was able to create a website that really truly spoke to those people and streamlined her process. So there is no doubt who she works with when you see her Facebook page, when you see her social media on Instagram. She is able to communicate extremely clear. This is who I am. This is what I do. And this is who I work with. And this is how I can help you. Now, something that I thought was really incredible is one of the big shifts that occurred throughout our time together is that Anna gained the confidence to talk about what she does off of her business pages. And she worked through these blocks that had been in the way, prior to like digging deep and really understanding her mission and her values. There were these blocks in the way that told her that she, nobody wanted to hear about what she did as a piano teacher. When she started experimenting with talking about what she did, amazing things happened. All of these people came, out and supported her, and she was able to, be there and really be present as that amazing piano teacher that she is. And that was so inspiring to me to watch. And she was able to launch a brand new course, and she's connecting with clients in a way that she wasn't able to do before. So the big takeaway from Music House Austin, shout out to Anna, is that she was able to give herself permission to hone in and niche down so that she could really look at what lights her up, the best ways that she can help people. And that gave her permission to stop being and doing all the things. Because when we give ourselves permission to step into our awesometicity, right? You guys have heard that term before. If you haven't heard it before, it's learning and understanding what makes you awesome as a teacher, as a human, and being able to communicate that authentically to people, right? In a tone that communicates your vision, your values, your mission, not this academic resume, kind of stick you in a box kind of copy. When we're able to find our voice, we are able to really step in to who we want to be. And running a business where we do that feels really good. So congratulations to Anna. Pete is shouting you out. I love it. If you all are loving these reveals, let me know down below. What are some of your takeaways from today? A little sip before we move on to case study number 3. Okay. So I love this next one because, I love highlighting teachers who are doing things that are off the beaten path. And, what's interesting is that in Branding Bootcamp, we work with so many different styles of businesses, so many different models, right? There are multi-teacher studios. There are single teacher studios. There are people who teach group lessons. There are people who create online courses. And last year, we had someone who is a traveling teacher, but not the traveling teacher in the sense that you think. Because when I say traveling teacher, you're probably thinking about somebody who drives to people's houses. Well, this traveling teacher doesn't drive to people's houses. She actually teaches on the go from her RV. She is a traveling piano studio, and she works online with the most amazing clients. So this next case study that we're going to take a look at is Fagan Piano Studio. Another Anna. Funniest thing that happened last spring. Last spring, we had 3 Annas in our class. That was not at all confusing. So Anna Fagan, some of you may know her because she shows up here in the comments sometimes, but some of you may know her She has the most unique studio. And when we worked together this past year, her goal was to be able to communicate to more specific ideal clients and also to be able to um, get more consistent in the way that she was presenting her brand visually. And so, of course, I mentioned at the top here, your brand is not your logo, your brand is not your colors, your brand is not your font. Those are, assets. They are brand assets. They do help us communicate what you do, but they're not the entire thing. So part of what allowed Anna Fagan to get clearer about how she wanted to present herself visually was doing the work prior to that and really digging into the foundations and thinking about, who am I as a teacher? What are the values that I hold as a business owner, that I hold as a human being? And how am I going to be able to communicate those things clearly? And how am I going to be able to communicate my mission clearly so that the right kind of people inquire and that I can build this amazing dream life? Oh, yes. Jennifer Fox, nice to see you here. She says, Anna is a mobile teaching rock star. It's 100% true. Like, wait till you see. Her logo is my favorite thing in the world. And again, her brand is not her logo. Her brand is how she's presenting herself. It's how she's able to communicate. It's how clients perceive what she does, because what she does is so unique. So let's bring up her website here. And we're going to, what I'd like to hone in on is, how she is presenting something that's quite different. Okay. So, sorry, I've got like a million little windows in the way that you can't see, but they're covering all the things, so I can't see what I'm doing. All right. So first off, okay, do you see this? Like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I should bring it up larger on the screen here. Let me see if I can do that. Open image in a new tab. So, okay. Let me see if I can zoom in. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, it might look a little blurry because I picked the wrong image, but Anna's traveling RV with the cat in the window just gives me life. But really, that's not why we're here. Okay, so what Anna was able to communicate here, let me zoom back out. There we go. I know, it's like the logo is just the cutest thing I've ever seen, right? Let me move myself around here. I'm kind of in the way here. So Anna was able to communicate that these online lessons that she provides, right? It's this joint combination of classical traditions and today's technology. And she wanted to be able to communicate clearly, like, what it was like to work with her. So the visuals that she chose are beautiful. They communicate like how tech savvy that she is. Look at this amazing setup that she has. They also communicate who she works with, and they introduce her in a beautiful way. I love the way that Anna put this together. She crafted this journey in a way that was super duper clear. And look at this, y'all. Isn't this the life? That's her RV right there. That was like one of her backyards for the day. It's just so much fun. And she was able to get really clear on what she wanted to communicate in her marketing. So one of the things that Anna focused in on, and I come back to the screen here, was streamlining the process of creating social media posts, being able to talk about what she does. She's crafted the most beautiful customer journey, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to check her out, go to faganpiano.com, and you can read more of what she has there. She crafted this gorgeous customer journey, and she was able to get more consistent in how she was presenting herself. It also gave her ideas to start sharing her love of travel as an RV piano teacher. So she started a new Instagram account, and I can't remember the title. Let me see if I have it off to the side here. Oh, I don't. I'll see if I can like grab it later. Like, yes, Anna is brave to live her dream, and she's so inspiring. Carrie says Anna is a pioneer. 100% she is. It's just like, it makes my heart sing looking at what she's doing. The big takeaway here for Anna was this, is that she was able to start really streamlining the process of marketing what she offers. And that was because she was able to find consistency in two things, right? She was able to find consistency in how she wanted to present herself verbally and how she could communicate clearly to those ideal clients. And also she streamlined those visual elements. So we have much more consistency when it comes to her branding on her socials. Like we get as clients, as prospective clients who would find her on Instagram, we can glean from the styles of photos that she shares, from the styles of graphics that she creates. We can glean her personality. We understand like who she is and the way that she works. We understand what she values, and we understand how she can help us. And so it has streamlined her process and made all of the marketing so much easier. And Anna, it was such a pleasure working with you. And I do want to encourage all of you that are watching right now to follow her adventures. Okay, I did find it. Yay. Excellent. Let me screen share this. So follow Anna at RV Piano Teacher. She has the most fun posts there. This is she just started this account like a month ago, and you can get to see like all the behind the scenes things that are going on with her. And she's got a lot of humor in there. She's got some inspirational stories, and it's just really fun to follow her. So, I know that piano teachers and voice teachers, we love to follow each other. But this is like taking it a step further because you get to see all the adventures that Anna goes on. Okay, well, I just spoiled who our bonus case study is going to be. We have one more to go through today. And then we're going to do a recap of like what are the big takeaways from these before and afters. It's not just about the logos. It's not just about the websites. It's about these internal shifts that happen when we start giving ourselves permission to be who we are and to be who we want to be as business owners. So our final case study today comes from a client and friend, and I'm going to get like emotional talking about Julie because Julie's been around for a long time. When I reached out to Julie last week and asked if I could highlight what she's done, because she's done amazing things, she sent me a story of what has happened over the past 4 years. Julie is a wonderful example of someone who embraced what it means to understand your brand and to revisit it on the regular so that we can grow. We can grow as piano teachers, as voice teachers. Oh my gosh, look at this, Pete. We love the doodah. I love it. What Julie has done is incredible. Little tiny backstory here. Julie, initially, we worked one-on-one together, and we were, our goal was to, kind of streamline what was happening in her studio and to make her job easier and more fun. And once she started getting clear on who her ideal clients really were, things totally changed. And, Julie comes from a background where she was a classroom music teacher. And I've talked about this before in the past. I think classroom music teachers, there's this thing that happens in the classroom where and it's a good thing. This is a good thing. As a classroom music teacher, you accept anybody into your classroom, right? And I'm so thankful for all the classroom music teachers that are out there. Shout out to all I feel like I should do like the, the Hunger Games salute to all of the classroom music teachers out there right now, because is it 2 fingers or is it 3 fingers? I think it's 3. Y'all help me out here with the tween stuff. To all the classroom music teachers who are out there right now, hats off to you. You are incredible. What you've been through in the last 2-3 years is insane. And the fact that you are still there teaching music and providing an outlet of creativity for these students who so badly need it is incredible. And we love you. And, we could not do what we do as independent teachers if it weren't for classroom teachers. off my soapbox now. So yes. Okay. So with Julie, coming from a classroom teacher background, there's this there can be these blocks around really niching down to ideal clients, because as a classroom teacher, we're taught to teach everybody. But when Julie was able to really hone in her ideal client and understand who she wanted to work with, and give herself permission to understand that not every inquiry for her student was a good fit, and that was okay to say no, she ended up with a studio that's full of the most delightful students that are a joy to work with, and parents and students who respected her policies and her prices. So that was step number 1. And then something happened. Julie started leaning into marketing in a way that she hadn't done before. And now Julie is a natural marketer. She really is, because she loves to document what she does. She is so good at taking pictures and so good at taking videos and putting things out there so that people can understand what happens in her studio. Like, I wish that I was a 10-year-old and can take piano lessons with Julie, because it looks like such a fun time. When she started doing this, she started understanding that other teachers would see what Julie was doing and go, wow, I can't do that. Or they'd ask, how did you do that? And she started realizing that all the work that she had been putting in to creating resources for her own studio, she found that she had a new niche, and she launched a new part of her business, and she has become a multi-income stream business now. Julie is not just a piano teacher. None of us are just piano teachers, but Julie is an online resource creator, and she launched a website where she talks about all of these resources, where she offers them in a store, where she guides people through like creative ways to use games. Julie, you were like a lifesaver for people who during the pandemic, you had to teach online, and you went from not being able to teach, to use all of these games that you had before. She taught people how to teach every game online. So Julie found this new niche, and she was able to really embrace what she does. And y'all, wait till you see how beautiful this is. So let me get this screen share up here. Okay, so Julie went from having a website that just focused on her students to focusing in to what really feeds her soul here, and that's supporting teachers and creating resources and allowing teachers to embrace the fun and creative side of being a piano teacher. So her new website here speaks very clearly to who she works out. Oh yes, super shout out to Studio Rocket Web Design. Jana did such a beautiful job with crafting this all together. And Julie's the one who learned how to speak to these ideal clients. So she's able to say, hey, we offer innovative music teaching resources for the creative music teacher who wants her students to learn music with excellence and enjoy the journey. And she was able to get beautiful branding shots. Your son took these shots, didn't Julie's here. So I think your son took these pictures. If not, remind me who took them, because they're so beautiful. She was able to craft a website that is super easy to navigate. And that's one of the things that she worked on last year, which was really interesting. So, Julie's gone through multiple versions of branding exercises in order to get really clear on what is it that people see, and how can I make this easy for people to navigate? Because, and I'm going to come back to her site in a moment here, a big part of branding is client perception. And if we aren't able to put the hard work in to figuring out what people see and what people need, and how can we put these things together in order for our for our websites and our socials to be easy to navigate and communicate things clearly, then what happens is that if we aren't able to do those things, what happens is that clients kind of drop off, right? They get lost in the process. So what Julie discovered through doing some deep work, she did a mastermind with me last spring, and she got input from teachers that, you know what, it was too hard to find things. So she was able to figure out that part of what she needed to offer, like she shifted the way she's doing her offers. She made it easy for people to find exactly what they needed. And the huge shift that happened for her in this past year is that now she has over 1,000 people on her mailing list. And they receive regular updates about her games and resources. And she's able to do that in a way that doesn't feel salesy or strange. And the sales on her website are up 50% from this time last year because she's able to communicate why she does what she does, who she does those things with and for, what she actually does, and how she does it. So that one of the big takeaways here is that branding actually will help you understand the gaps where you're losing people, where you're losing potential clients, and where people are walking away from a website. So when we're able to like really figure that out, beautiful things happen. I love this. Okay, so Femina Franciscus is your awesome photographer. That was your former student of mine who took pictures. Hey, it's just proof that you don't have to have, a branding photo shoot that is, thousands of dollars or something. If you know what you want to communicate with your photos and you've got a cell phone or if you've got a friend who's got a nice camera, you can make that happen. I love it. So Julie has, made these gorgeous shifts. And if you do want to find out, more about what she's done, let me bring up her site again. Sorry, I'm trying to do this, but behind the scenes thing. Go to juliedudamusicstudio.com and check out the way that she has things, organized. It's absolutely beautiful. The way that she has organized her store is absolutely incredible. So check it out. I think you're going to really love it. And shout out to Julie for all of the amazing work that you've done over the years. Supporting you has been such a joy in my life. Okay. So we're going to do a quick recap here. But before we do that, I do want to say, if you want to get a hold of the big takeaways from today, drop a congrats down below. The Savvy Sarah Bot will reach out to you. And I do want to, I want to say again, there's 1 week to enroll in Branding Bootcamp, and it will be a whole year before I bring this course back. So if this is something that has been on your bucket list and you are thinking about joining us, put Branding Bootcamp down below and let's chat about how Branding Bootcamp can specifically help your business to grow. This is not about creating a new logo. This is about creating something that's huge. This is about understanding who you are, understanding who you want to work with, and understanding how you can communicate all of those things in an effective way so that you can bring in more ideal clients, so that you can work less and increase your prices, and so that you can be happy as a business owner. Because if there's a disconnect in the branding and understanding what you do, and you haven't done the foundational work and you haven't learned how to communicate those things or haven't learned how to understand those things about yourself, we can end up running businesses where we have to do and be all the things. And that's not what we want. Okay. I love this. Susan says, I cannot wait for Branding Bootcamp to start. I'm so excited that you're joining us. Julie, thank you so much. I love it. Oh, yay. Going to be connecting with Julie after several years exclusively online. Welcome my first in-persons this week. I love it. Julie's takeaway is work less, make more. All right. I love it. So let's do our recap here. We're going to go through the big takeaways from today's branding before and afters. And it's not about logos, y'all. All right. So here we go. Let's get ready. Okay. Little clap for the microphone so we know where to get this. Here we go. So if you're thinking about redoing your studio branding or your marketing because you're not bringing in the right types of clients, you're working more than you want to, you're working less than you want to, and you haven't quite worked up the guts to dive into that process, Here are some tips for you. Your brand is not your logo. Your logo is a very, very small part of your brand. Your brand is based on your client's perception. And when we are not intentional about influencing that perception and really crafting a brand that communicates what we do, who we do it for, why we do it, and how we do it, then we are leaving a lot of things to chance. Here are 5 things that branding will help you do. And it doesn't have anything to do with logos. 1, branding will help you understand the gaps where you are losing clients or the gaps where you are getting inquiries that are not a good fit. 2, learning how to market and speak to your ideal clients will result in a more enjoyable business. It will result in a studio culture that is more cohesive and that really embodies the values that you hold dear. It will create a business that feeds the mission that allows you to make the difference in the world that you want to make. And 3, honing in on what you do best and giving yourself permission to niche down and really focus in on your ideal clients is going to allow you to stop being and doing all the things. You don't have to be a music man, right? You don't have to be that person that's playing the drums and the harmonica and, playing the trumpet and the piano all at the same time. I mean, if you do all those instruments, more power to you, except for the harmonica. Sorry. Just no. Giving yourself permission to hone in on what makes you happy will allow you to build a business that truly makes you happy. Number 4, establishing consistency in your verbal and visual elements is going to streamline your process of marketing. It is going to save you so much time when it comes to creating content, when it comes to writing emails, when it comes to coming up with, visuals like flyers and things like that. Learning how to understand your offers and the features and benefits that working with you brings to people's lives, it makes all of the marketing easier. Number 5, and I'm going to say it again, your brand is not your logo. It is about learning how to communicate your why, your how, your what, and your who. And if you are ready to learn how to communicate those things so that you can market with ease, so that you can run a business that makes your heart sing, reach out, because that's what I do. All right, everyone, thank you so much for listening in today. We will be back next week. And in the meantime, stay savvy and stay you, because you are an amazing music teacher and there's no one in the world who's quite like you. And I'd love to help you shout that out to the universe, because I think you are pretty dang awesome. All right, everyone, thanks for being here. We will see you next time.